Threats scrawled on the wall. Good morning, I'm Valerie Calhoun. Increased security today at White Station High. This after a threat was found written on a bathroom wall late Monday. Fox 13's Scott Mattis joins us live outside White Station High in East Memphis. Now, this is not a lockdown situation, though, is it, Scott?
No, not even close to that. Good morning, Valerie. I'm glad you pointed that out. Things are business as usual here at White Station High School. Of course, very close to the intersection of Perkins and Poplar. Now, I can tell you that this note was found inside of one of the bathrooms inside White Station last night by evidently some kind of school administrator.
As law enforcement agency, we take things like this seriously, and we do our best to add some added security and added presence to make sure that everybody's okay. You know, these things happen, and kids do it because they want to get attention, and they want to distract attention away from normal school activities. And for us, you know, we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we weren't out here making sure that everybody was safe.
All right, so there you have it from the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. I'll wrap things up here back here live at White Station High School. Things are normal as they would be on any given Tuesday, so we're going to stay on top of the story as always because the date on that note, of course, was the 29th, which is Thursday. So stay with us both on air and online. For now, live at White Station, Scott Mattis, Fox 13 News.
New this morning, an administrator is out of a job and a teacher at the same school has been suspended. This happened in the newly formed Germantown Municipal School District. Now, according to reports, Farmington Elementary School assistant principal Christopher Shoemaker resigned last Thursday, the same day that a teacher at that school was suspended. No word on if the two incidents are related or why Shoemaker resigned or why the teacher was suspended, but the Germantown Municipal School District told the Commercial Appeal the teacher is suspended pending an investigation. Now to Shelby County schools, where a high school basketball coach is benched for using a derogatory word. He's the assistant basketball coach at Ridgeway High School, Michael Moore. He's been suspended. He's accused of using the N-word in front of the junior varsity players. It happened in the locker room after the squad lost a game on Friday, and when parents found out what happened, they demanded action.
He's also a teacher over at Ridgeway, teach Algebra 2. Why should he be in the classroom teaching kids, mine and your kids, when he really is a racist to me? And he's free to use the N-word to your kids, to my kids. I'm not comfortable with that.
Shelby County Schools says Moore's actions are being reviewed by the Labor Board, and he has been suspended pending the outcome of this investigation. A double murder outside a tobacco store in Raleigh. Memphis police called to the Discount Tobacco store on Yale Avenue before 10 o'clock last night. Now, police say that a clerk walked outside and walked up to a gold Nissan Altima with several people inside. Somebody inside the car started shooting. The clerk fell down, but he fired off several shots himself into the car. The clerk later died. Police say the people in the Nissan dropped a gunshot victim off at the hospital, and that 18-year-old died too. Memphis firefighters are still looking into an apartment fire Monday in Hickory Hill. Check out this video. The flame scene coming from that building as firefighters arrived on the scene. 8 apartments damaged by the flames. More than 50 firefighters tried to put it out. 2 people injured with cuts to their hands and knees because they had to escape the flames through their apartment windows.
I just hurried up and ran out before it got worse into my apartment. So I just got up, ran out the apartment, and the whole building was on fire.
Just heard a lot of noise, sound like children getting out of school. And we opened the door and we just seen a bunch of smoke and people running and yelling and stuff. And we came on out and the apartment was on fire.
Yeah, the good news is nobody was hospitalized and no firefighters injured in that. 13 people in West Tennessee are facing federal drug trafficking charges this morning. They were arrested Monday during a drug roundup in Dyer County after the indictments were unsealed. The suspects charged with selling, manufacturing, and distributing cocaine and marijuana. Officers seized drugs, cash, weapons, and drug paraphernalia during their raids. Well, for the second time in less than a week, another weapon found in a Shelby County school. A student apparently brought a BB gun to Raleigh Egypt Middle School on Monday, and it was just last week that a teacher found a BB gun on an 11-year-old at Scenic Hills Elementary School. There was a song called Love Hurts, and sometimes it does. One couple's fight over money gets out of hand and downright violent. This morning, Cynthia Hampton is in jail. Police say that she stabbed her boyfriend in the arm with a 12-inch kitchen knife. Hampton told police, though, it was self-defense because she stabbed him after he hit her in the head several times. She is charged with aggravated assault and probably is in court this very morning. In a bad situation out of Cordova, where a nanny is charged with poisoning a special needs child in her care. Tiffany Johnson has been arrested. Police say she put salt in the feeding tube of an 8-year-old wheelchair-bound boy. He's okay now, but investigators say he was sick for months under Johnson's care. Well, Bo the dog gets a break. A Dyer County judge has issued a brief stay that keeps him alive for now, but his fate could be sealed later this week. You know, this case stems from a dispute between neighbors. One of them accused Bo of killing a pet duck. Bo's owner disputes that claim. The hearing will be held later this week to decide Bo's fate. You know, people from all over the world are weighing in on this one. They'd love our forecast too, wouldn't they?
Val, they love animals, hope good things for that dog, and they do love the sunshine. Let's see what's happening outside, folks. Beautiful over the River City. Right now, let's send it back to Val.
Well, the winter weather has been pounding much of the Northeast. Areas in New England expected to get up to 3 feet of snow. Here in the Mid-South, one of the potential impacts of that blizzard is air travel and package delivery, especially with Federal Express. Fox 13's Earl Farrell has more from Memphis International Airport.
Not yet. In fact, U.S. Airlines canceled 3 to Philadelphia today. At Memphis International Airport, Earl Farrell, Fox 13 News.
All right, that blizzard in New York City, not nearly as bad as predicted. That's good news. Of course, it's still hitting north of there, but Brian Yennis joins us live in New York with more, and we've seen it change a lot behind you. When we first checked in with you this morning, Brian, there was nobody out and the streets were still covered with snow. It's changed a little bit.
That's exactly right. Good morning, Valerie. The travel ban was lifted this morning and people are starting to come out of their apartments. It's starting to look a little bit like New York, but to be honest with you, to New York standards, this is a ghost town. But honestly, this storm may not have hit New York that hard, but it is still packing a punch in places like Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and much of the Northeast. Travel bans in New York City and other surrounding areas no longer in effect. City buses, subways, and trains getting up and running, and people are starting to emerge from their homes and hotel rooms. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo still warning people to stay inside if possible.
There's a level of ice under the snow in many areas. And if you don't have to travel today, you really don't want to be traveling today.
The blizzard less powerful here than originally expected. Officials standing by all precautions taken ahead of the storm's arrival.
We did a good job clearing the roads because they were empty. The system is going to come back online much faster than it would have if the trains were exposed to the conditions.
Massachusetts seeing some of the worst conditions. Some areas hit with more than a foot of snow by this morning, and Boston could get as much as 2 feet. Wintry weather expected throughout the day.
We did see very high winds. We continue to see high winds. We'll see high winds over the course of the day. And in many parts of Massachusetts, we're going to continue to see snow falling.
There's about 30,000 people in Massachusetts right now without power. Nantucket, one of those cities hit most. We'll have more next following the break. Take care, guys.
It's one of the fastest growing criminal industries in the world, and it's gaining ground here in the Mid-South. Now Congress is taking steps today to try to combat human trafficking. Fox 13's Kyla Campbell is in Washington to explain how that legislation aims to keep kids from becoming victims.
The House approved a few anti-human trafficking bills last night and is expected to approve more legislation today. One bill would allow the U.S. to restrict passports of people convicted of child sex crimes in other countries. Another scheduled for a vote today would strengthen social worker reporting requirements. Many of these bills passed in the last Congress, but the Senate never voted on them. Every year in the U.S., 300,000 children are at risk to be forced into prostitution and pornography.
This is in people's backyards. This is in every community. This is a nationwide problem. It's not just in the major cities. It's not just in certain hotspots. It's really spread across the country.
Take a look at this map. It shows calls have come into the National Anti-Trafficking Hotline from the Mid-South. The average child sex trafficking victim in the U.S. is just 13 years old. In Washington, Kyla Campbell, Fox 13 News.
All right, thank you, Kyla. Hey, folks, let's switch gears and check out this weather, because this is something we're actually very positive about in the Mid-South, and that's excellent conditions, especially for a January day. Look at those fair weather clouds, few cumulus clouds. Now let's send you back to the desk.
Hey, we had a shooting at a Chuck E. Cheese up in Missouri. Now police looking into that. They're searching for the two people who they say shot a man at the Chuck E. Cheese last night. Witnesses say the victim was standing in the doorway of the children's restaurant when he was shot. They think it all started over an argument. The man was shot multiple times. He did survive. He's in serious condition, though, at a Missouri hospital. In intense, terrifying moments caught on video, the sounds of a deadly shooting at a city council meeting caught. Watch and listen.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of an electronic reader board sign.
Get down, get down. Everybody get down.
This up in Minnesota. Watch carefully on the left side of your screen. There we go. You can see this councilman pulling his gun out while others are ducking under the table. They were trying to figure out exactly what happened. It was a Minnesota City Council chamber last night. They had just sworn in 2 new police officers, and that's who was shot, those 2 officers. Nobody else was injured. Both wounded officers are expected to survive, so it was not, they're okay, they're going to be okay. But the gunman was shot and killed. Police say they don't know yet the motive why this gunman ambushed the 2 new police officers. How about this? Did you see the asteroid that passed by Earth Monday? It came with a little surprise, its own tiny moon. Watch this. NASA released these images of the asteroid and its satellite, a 230-foot wide ball of rock. Watch, this is amazing. The asteroid itself is the size of a mountain, about 1/3 to a half mile in size. Both objects passed as close as 745,000 miles from Earth, and in NASA speak, that's close. It's about 3 times as far away as Earth's moon, but because of the rather close flyby, scientists hoping to make more discoveries from the data they collected up in orbit and on the ground. We'll have more Midday coming up. Facebook and Instagram are working fine right now, but they went dark just after midnight. People who were up late or up early, disgruntled users took to the tweeter to vent their frustration because Twitter worked. But the outage affected a large portion of the U.S. The good news is both Facebook and Instagram were up and running maybe an hour later. A 15-year-old blues phenom from the Mid-South about to embark on a 3-day tour in France. Christone Kingfish Ingram is leaving tomorrow. He will perform at an international comic festival and come back on Sunday. You know, his story went viral earlier this month when Tom Dees did a story on him on Fox 13 News. Last November, Ingram performed for the president at the White House.
Wow.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
I love that story.
I do too.
What a great kid.
He loves music and he's so good at it.
He's so likable.
He is so likable.
All right, let's check out your forecast, my friends. Today is a lot to like there as well, mid-50s. How about tomorrow and Thursday, upper 50s? Are you kidding me? Sunny and beautiful. Now, we've got some cooler numbers Friday into the weekend, and probably some showers begin to fall late Saturday and more significantly on Sunday. But until then, we've got enough time, Val, to get our Christmas lights down.
That's good. I actually still have some up in the back.
I believe you.
But I may leave them there. I like them.
You know,
You just took yours down yesterday.
I did, just yesterday.
Have a good day.